Hello, everybody, and welcome to another stream. Yay! How's everybody doing? Hi, let's see, we got X-Boba Hotep. Hi, tall person. Beth, how's it going? Hi, Man Line. How you doing, man? Hey, John. Hey, TOS. Hey, Dangerous. Hi, Retro. Hey, tall person again. Hi, Donald. Hi, Evolved. Hey, Costin. Well, let's see. Have a good night, tall person. Hope you got some rest when you watch this in the future. Hey, Ryan. Have a good one, TOS. Hope you had a good night as well. I hope your stream goes well tomorrow as also. And thank you for the donation, Retro Gamer. Very generous. Double shot of Jack. Perfect way to end the day. Yeah, I'm glad to do it whenever I can. And thank you, John Migda. Hi, who's also being generous and says, getting hired full-time at work, just found out after MITAM. Dude, that's awesome. Congratulations, man. Try and save some of that money. Shit's getting crazy out there. Alternately, you could give it to me. But if you want to support the stream, please hit the like button, share it on your social media, and subscribe if you haven't. Ring that bell for notifications. And if you're feeling generous, please toss a couple bucks to the Streamlabs link pinned at the top of your chat and in the description. I also have a Patreon and a merchandise store. Those links are also in the description. I figured we could go over the upcoming comics. I will, of course, be periodically checking the Streamlabs. I hope everybody's doing well out there, but we also do have a little bit of news. Ezra Miller got himself in apparently some more trouble, allegedly. So we'll look at that then. But first, let's check out DC's next week offerings. So over here, we've got Action Comics, Don't Care. I don't even know why they're killing Superman off, so that's regular Superman. He's out in outer space, so they could have bisexual Superman being the Superman of Earth. Aquaman, this is getting canceled in 2 issues because it's terrible, and nobody likes Jackson Hyde. Batman Beyond the White Knight, I don't know. I've heard mixed things about this. The White Knight stuff, I just really don't care about. The first one was okay. They're good alternate universe stuff, but I don't know. I think they're very overrated. They're not bad. They're just kind of overrated. And they're not worth the price point they're asking. Batman Fortress, I'm going to pick this one up. There's an alien ship crashes, and Batman has to get the rest of the Justice League together, but Superman's not there, and there's some kind of connection to him. So I'll probably check that one out to see if it's any good. It's a miniseries. DC versus Vampires Hunters, I don't care at all. The whole DC Vampires thing had potential, but the first issue was so lazy, I couldn't read anything else. Deathstroke Inc. is a tie into the Shadow War. It's part 6. I had the Alpha book. I thought it was a mini-series, so I haven't read it yet. But then I realized it was just crossing over a bunch of books, and I just do not give a crap. Even though I haven't even read the first book, it's supposed to be pretty good, but I'm not picking up a bunch of random titles that I'm not reading, spending extra money. Forget that. If you can't self-contain it, it's a waste of my time most of the time. Batman Detective Comics, not reading it. Mariko Tamaki's still on there, and she's an overrated writer, to say the least. Harley Quinn, terrible book with really garbage art. Robin is a tie-in with the Shadow War. I don't care. Oh, YouTube locked it? Oh, damn. What'd we do? It was probably bad. Task Force Z, don't care. How you doing, Monkey? Hi, Roger. Hey, Kiefer. Task Force Z, I don't care about. Teen Titans Academy, I don't care about. Swamp Thing, also not good. And that's all that's coming out from DC next week. So I'm going to get one DC book, Batman Fortress. The rest of the stuff, this might be good, but I don't really want to spend $5 on it. I still haven't read the Harley Quinn miniseries or the second miniseries they did, so I've got them sitting here. Just they're not exactly high priority, so why am I going to buy this? So that's the DC stuff coming up. Sore and highly annoyed. I don't blame you. Oh, Kyle's last stream was privated too? Dang. How you doing, tall person? Yeah, they must be tinkering with the algorithm again and probably flagging random stuff. They seem to enjoy doing that. All right, over at previews, Image Comics, we have Adventure Man. Don't care because Adventure Man doesn't even show up in the book after issue 1. And I don't care about this girl power book. Aerosmith, not the band. Don't care. Bloodstained Teeth. I saw issue 1 sitting on the rack. I was like, this looks terrible. So I skipped it. Department of Truth, don't care. It's a bunch of lefty nonsense. Gunslinger Spawn. I have like the first 5 issues of that, and I have not read any of them. So I'm just stopping it. Guess they didn't like the horse guy? Yeah. Maybe they're mad we didn't have Rome Girl. Hey, Anthrax, how's it going, man? Let's see. Hellcop is garbage. And I'm surprised they didn't get a cease and desist from Sweet and Low, because that's what the aliens in the other dimension get high on, is Sweet and Low. And they used the actual rapper in the book. So that's a lawsuit waiting to happen. Ice Cream Man, don't care. I think that's overrated. Not a huge horror fan to begin with. There's some good horror comics, but this one just isn't for me. Anthology, don't care. Philadelphia, don't care. King Spawn, trade paperback. Still haven't read them. Magic Order, don't care. Monstrous, still don't care after 40 issues. New Burn's garbage. Radiant Red. Some of these Radiant books look like they're going to be good, but man, that issue 2 of Radiant Black was such trash, it turned me off the entire franchise. Rogue Sun, don't care. Saga, don't care. Stillwater, still don't care. The art looks like shit, too. Unnatural Blue Blood. This has a piggy in it. Like, I shit you not. This is some weird anthropomorphic shit. And the obsession some of these guys have with, like, girl pigs is kind of weird. You do, like, a Yojimbo or something where it's really animal looking. Okay, maybe it could be good. But the pig thing with chicks, they do that a lot, and it's really, really weird. So I find this, like, to be very bizarre, and I have zero interest in it. Zombies versus Robots. I read a couple issues of that back in the day, and it was very stylistic, so it was trying to be too artsy, and the story just wasn't very good. I don't think there's any humans in it. As I recall, the last human dies in issue 1. So nothing from Image really struck my fancy. Thought the Department of Truth had been shut down. Hang on, I'm thinking of something else. Yeah, I think you are. Oh, Felix coming in. Nice. I just got, I think, the last one of that story arc. Hey, Andrew, how's it going, man? You have a good one as well. Hey, Peter. So then we jump over to Dark Horse. We got The Witcher, Grain of Truth, don't care. Hardcover for $17.99 is sadly not a bad price. Art of Trovo Saves the Universe. You mean shitty art? Good job. Cal Art wins again. BPRD, trade paperback, don't care. British Paranormal Society, not a very good book. Collector Unit 731. Unit 731 was the Japanese unit that experimented on prisoners of war. So probably a pretty messed up book. EC's Vault of Horror. These are pretty good if you like the Golden Age horror stuff that the TV show was based on. You know, the Tales from the Crypt stuff. So, but it's just really not for me. Hellboy and BPRD, Night of the Cyclops one shot. It's probably all right. Most of the Hellboy stuff's fine. Just not spending $4 on it, especially because Dark Horse's paper quality has really slipped. Minecraft with or without you, don't care about Minecraft in the slightest. Pearl 3, number 1, I didn't care about the first two. Scarlet trade paperback, don't care. Tarzan, the New Adventures hardcover, that's probably pretty good. Can't remember. I know I read it a long time ago. But there's nothing from Dark Horse I want. All right, IDW. We've got Godzilla versus Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, issue 3 of 5. I'm going to pick that up. I got the first 2 issues. Issue 1 is about 3 books down in the stack here next to me. So I'm looking forward to reading that. So I'm going to pick that one up. There's 2 covers. My Little Pony number 1. I don't give a shit about My Little Pony, but if you're into that, there's rebooting again. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 129. No, thank you. The Eastman art covers are pretty good, but that book has slipped so far down. Sad. Transformers Beast Wars, I don't give a shit about. The art was garbage in that. Transformers Wars End, I've heard that's not bad, but I'm not spending the $6 on it. Yojimbo, Lone Goat and Kid. I do believe this is coming out finally. So I got that marked down on my order form to get that, but it might get delayed because of the supply chain issues. Unfortunately, IDW's gotten hit by that like everyone else. So from IDW, just Usagi. Marvel, Amazing Spider-Man number 2. So I read a story about this. Hey, James, how you doing, man? Do they still have the Mary Sue Turtle? Yes, they do. And they're even bringing Venus in now as a Frankensteinian creature. I want to talk about that Amazing Spider-Man number 2. I know I have an article on it. So give me 1 second to find that, because this actually really kind of pissed me off. Oh, nope, I don't want to open my porn folder. Oof, that was almost ugly. I almost opened all my porn tabs. That would have crashed the system for sure. Let's see. Got to find this Spider-Man one, because this really made me mad. Give me 1 second, you guys. Maybe I didn't save the tab. That's going to piss me off. Oh, yeah, I got a couple articles that really made me mad that I forgot to open. So not a total waste. No, I didn't save it. But anyway, I'll look it up quick while I'm talking here. I have zero interest in this book. It just looks worse and worse. They are really changing Spider-Man around, and not in a good way. They pulled a bait and switch. And it just made me mad. Past week. No, I don't want to watch The Amazing Spider-Man 2. I don't hate myself. No, I don't want to illegally bootleg it either. Why is that in the top 10 search results? Oh, well. Anyway, it looks like what they're doing is they're breaking up Peter and Mary Jane again. And now she's with another guy in issue 2. And she has 2 kids. So not only are they kicking Peter to the curb from her yet again, she's got a couple kids. And look at this shit art, too. Look at that. What is with his face? That is awful. Why is he standing like he's clenching to keep from pooping? And she looks like she's about to go running. Whoever did this art is garbage. Is that Jen Ramada Jr.? What the hell, man? What's wrong with you? You're a better artist than that. Yeah, Jen Ramada. What the hell, man? So, yeah, she's with another guy, and they've got 2 kids together. And that's what's going on with Spider-Man and Mary Jane now. So if you want to spend $4 on a 20-page comic that's going to piss you off, there you go. Oh, shit, I'm not showing it. Sorry about that. Thank you. I'm so angry about this. So, yeah, there we are. Look at this crap. Look at it. I gotta poop. Why does he have slender, like, Asian girl hips? I'm sorry. John Romano Jr. is a way better artist than this. This is not good. That face looks pretty weird. So I don't know what's going on here, but this is bad. Is there any part of the MCU adapted from a comic book? Parts of it are. They pick and choose, and then they tweak it a little bit. No, I didn't open them, tall person, thankfully, because it would have crashed the stream and crashed my browser. I don't know, Dangerous. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. He looks like he has to poop, and it looks like she's about to run away from him. Yeah, they've broken them up again. They're trying desperately to ruin these characters. And they're probably going to kill off Spider-Man again or make him gay or some bullshit like that. They've been alluding to the fact that he might be bisexual. So get ready for that. So yeah, I'm not buying that trash. It's only got 3 covers this time. There's a Straczynski omnibus that is not worth $125. Not even close. Avengers 56, another 20-page book. No, thank you. For $4, it should be more than 20 pages. This head is so big. Yeah, it looks weird. Don't worry, Dangerous. I'll find a way to edit that out. Black Widow, don't care. Captain Carter, a miniseries that really didn't need to be made. It's just, look, we could have a girl Captain America. Yeah, that's never been done before. Even though she's British, whatever. Demon Days Treasury Edition. I didn't care for the book. Devil's Reign Omega. I am probably going to pick that up because I was enjoying the Devil's Reign miniseries. This is kind of a wrap up to it. So I'll probably pick that one up. There's a bunch of covers, so that's never like all the incentive covers. It's the only reason Marvel makes the numbers they do is they have to put these incentive covers on. Hulk number 7. I don't give a shit. That book is terrible. Incredible Hulk by Peter David, volume 4, $125. Those were good back in the day. I'll have to reread them at some point. But yeah, I don't know. I remember liking them back then. Everyone is Spider-Man lately. How many people have been a Spider person in the last year alone? Probably about 10. There's been about 10 different Spider characters. These are comics, not pornography. Yep, sorry, not opening the porn. I like having a channel. Just got a bunch of Hawkman comics. Nice. Hawkman's cool. Isn't there Captain Britain? Yeah, they replaced him with his sister, Psylocke, so that they could have a girl do it. Because how dare you have a buff, white, blonde dude? Legion of X. I'm not buying any X books. They're terrible. This art looks like shit, too. Look at this. Look at that chin. What is that? She looks like that little puppet madam that used to be on the 70s talk shows. We've already talked about the She-Hulk trailer. PlayStation 2 called it once its graphics back. I haven't talked about it yet. We'll talk about it when I'm done with the comics for next week. Moon Knight. Nope, sadly that book sucks too. I was bored. I thought it was boring and they were trying to jump around so much. It just really did nothing for me. Punisher, they've really I hate to say it, they cucked him. He is just effectively a eunuch at this point. There's no balls to that book at all. They've taken away his guns. They've taken away any kind of aggressiveness and masculinity to it. So now he's just this crybaby little pussy who uses swords because he's in charge of the hand. Oh boy, Savage Spider-Man. That book really sucked. It was like issue 1 was like jumping in halfway into a storyline because it picked up from where Nonstop Spider-Man dropped off, and it doesn't tell you anything about how any of this happened. You're just assumed to know. Spider-Man Exodus, Spider-Man 2099 Exodus #1, I should say. I am going to pick that up. I did a review on Spider-Man 2099 Exodus Alpha #1, which is the prequel. Why they just didn't call it issue 0, I don't know. But I did the review for that, and I'll drop that link in chat so you guys can check that out if you're interested. But I will be picking up issue 1 of the miniseries. It's only 5 issues, so see how it plays out. Yeah, that's about it. More variant covers. So for Marvel, I'm just going to get Devil's Reign Omega and Spider-Man 2099 Exodus issue 1. Dynamite, we've got Altered Carbon, don't care. Betty Page, Alien Agenda, special edition shit, I don't care about. Elvira and Horrorland, don't care. The Elvira stuff was kind of funny at first, and then just kind of they lost track of what they were doing with it. Immortal Red Sonja, $50 virgin cover, don't care. John Carter of Mars, the art looks really, really effeminate. And from what I can tell, the book isn't very good, which is really disappointing because it could have been a really good book. It's written by Chuck Brown. They should have kept Dan Abnett on, and it would have been way better. So I'm really disappointed with that. Nancy Drew and the Hardy Boys, Death of Nancy Drew, graphic novel. I don't care. I didn't buy the book then. Red Sonja, that book sucks. The Immortal Red, or not the Immortal Red Sonja, the Invincible Red Sonja was pretty good. Sheena, Queen of the Jungle, I am going to pick that up. I have been liking the Sheena series. It's been pretty good. I'm like 2 issues behind, though. Vampirella Strikes, $50 edition. What a waste of money. So Sheena is the only one I'm picking up from Dynamite. Elvira's dead to me after she trashed her fans. Yeah, that's never a good idea. You can't make it too violent. It's called The Punisher. Yeah. So Boom Studios, we've got all new Firefly. Don't care. Not that huge of a fan of the show. From what I saw, if you were a diehard fan of the show, the last series was pretty good, but I haven't read anything of the new one. I was just kind of a casual watcher of the show. I liked it, but I didn't obsess about it like a lot of people did. So the books just really didn't do much for me. Killer Affairs of State, don't care. Magic, Hidden Planeswalker, the Magic comics are garbage. Such hot garbage. Power Rangers Universe, I'm going to pick that up because it's the end of the miniseries, and then I'm probably going to drop all the Power Ranger books. Other than like the Godzilla one. Something is Killing the Children. That book is so insanely slow. Just buy the trades at like half off. Otherwise, you're going to get nothing per issue. There's a lot of dead space in there that's designed just to drag the story out. It's really, really frustrating. Vampire Slayer, that's a Buffy book. That's on issue 2. Again, I'm a casual when it comes to Buffy, so if you're a diehard, you'll probably like it, but I don't know. I'm not a diehard, so I didn't bother. Who did Daddy? I don't know. Probably Johnny Quest. His handsomeness is legendary. All right, so from Boom, just the Power Rangers. And that'll probably be it for the Power Rangers for me until I get caught up. They're not really worth a whole lot except for that first series they did. A lot of those are worth something now. Thankfully, I have all of them because I bought most of them on the stand. All right, now we get into the other stuff. We've got 2099 AD December program pack. I don't care. 5 bullets and 6 men, 1 shot. That sounds like a porno. Adventures into the Unknown, that's some Golden Age stuff. Some of those are pretty crazy. Same with Forbidden Worlds, but prices are out of my league. Alias Black and White. I've heard good things about that series, but it's not the Bendis series, Alias. This is a different one. I've heard good things, but it just didn't seem like anything I was really interested in. Amazona, don't care. The art sucks. Archie, it's Archie. Archie really doesn't change. These are the traditional classic Archies. They introduced like a couple of gay characters a while back, and that was as changed as it's gotten. Authorized Happiness, don't care. Banana Fox, don't care. That's some kids' book. Barb graphic novel. The art sucks. It's more weird, chibi, crossed with Cal Arts art. It looks lazy. The Battle. This is about Napoleon's Grand Army in Vienna. It's probably okay. It's volume 3 for $16. I'm not that connected to it. Billy the Kit, don't care. Black Ops Apocalypse Now, one shot. I think this is in the omnibus, so not real eager to hunt it down, and none of my comic shops are going to carry it. Talking with YouTube has only made my annoyance worse. Oh, you know that Team YouTube isn't going to do shit for you. Morning, Random. Blade Runner trade paperback. It's probably fine. I'm so incredibly far behind on that series, too. That's another one I'm going to drop. Blood of the Immortals hardcover. I don't care. It's Humanoids. I think this is a reprint. Yeah, it's a foreign reprint. They do a lot of those. Some of those are pretty good, but I'm not willing to risk it for $25, $30 with tax, you know. Breaker Omnibus. I don't even know what that is. Bug Boys hardcover. Don't care. Art looks like shit. Buzzard and Bone. Don't care. Card Captor. That looks like some girl shit. I don't know. Not interested. Cheeky Brat. That sounds like porn. Cerebus presents Alien Life one shot. I'm not real big into the newer Cerebus stuff. Church and State were the best Cerebus, in my opinion. He went from like a barbarian Conan knockoff to becoming actually a lot more interesting as it went. But I haven't read that stuff in more than 20 years. I don't even think I still have those. But they're good. They're worth reading. But I just don't have any interest in these one-shots. If he was smart, he'd just do like collected works, I think. Because these don't even seem to sell well. And they're not part of the regular Cerebus numbering. Cirque du Freak manga. I've heard it's good, but not reading manga. Classified Jaeger. Don't care. Don't know anything about it. The title's confusing, so I don't care. Dark History of Reincarnated Villainous. Catchy title, but not for me. Dark Interlude. Don't know what that is. Don't care. Didn't look that good when I flipped through it earlier. Devil and Part-Timer. Not interested. More manga stuff. Disney Masterpieces. These are usually pretty good, but they're expensive, and I'm not that big of a Disney person either. Private streams, both Monkey and the Scow got hit. Yeah, I'm not surprised. They're probably tweaking something on the back end, and they don't want to admit it. And they're just not going to tell anyone that they screwed something up. Because it's probably flagging swear words or something stupid like that. Doctor Who, Empire of the Wolf. Doctor Who stuff in comics from Titan has been really hit and miss. And since they're doing that new Fugitive Doctor, I do not care. Eat the Rich, don't care. Edgar Allan Poe, Conqueror Worm, one shot. It's probably okay. It's CEX. They're okay. It's probably fine. I don't know. Exciting comics. I lost massive interest in that a long time ago. Final Fantasy Lost Stranger. Nope. Fox and Hare looked like it might be interesting. They're mercenaries. But I'm not a big fan of the art style. It's very pseudo manga. The coloring was good, but just couldn't bring myself to order it. So I'm not spending $4 on it. There's too many of these that are right on the edge of possibly being good, but it's a real roll of the dice. And then if you get it and it's trash, you wasted $4 or $5. $5 in this case. Full Metal Alchemist. Again, I've heard it's good. I don't know. I don't read manga. I should at some point, but I'm way behind on my comics, so that's gonna be a while. And they'd have to go on the Patreon anyway. Good Boy. No, I don't care. Got Cheats, Become Unrivaled, Real World graphic novel. Don't care. Grim Fairy Tales, number 60. I don't read the fantasy stuff from Zenoscope, but the Zenoscope stuff is consistently pretty good. So, and of course, they have a bunch of variant covers. Harbinger, they got a big fatty on here for some reason. But the Harbinger stuff just never really, the new stuff isn't that good. And that's like a lot of Valiant stuff. They've got a lot of mediocrity with really good properties. Properties that used to be really good. Headhunted to Another World, Salary Man. All right, that sounds catchy, but I'm not into manga. Heavenly Delusion, that looked like crap. Helmet of Hammer Force, cool title, not interested. History Comics, graphic novel, National Parks. Wow, that's riveting. Want to see a drawing of a place you could actually go to and take a photo of, or just get a photo of off the internet? There you go. Hopeless Maine, sorry. No thanks. In the Land of Liddell, no, don't care. Jacob's Apartment, that sounds like a creepy weirdo. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, no. Jose and Pirate Captain Toledano, no thank you. Carnival, graphic novel, don't care. La Muerta Onslaught One Shot Black and White edition. The regular edition was like $7. Oh, now you can buy it in black and white for a couple bucks more. That makes 0 sense to me. They used to have some edgy art. They still do. But I don't know. I just don't really get into that. That fantasy stuff is just too cheesecake for me. The Land of Liddell is great anime. Oh, well, there you go. Lady Death Sacrificial Annihilation Part 1 of 2. I might pick this up. This is part of a big crossover event they're doing that started with the La Muerta Onslaught one-shot. They call it Death Apocalypse. It's a year-wide company campaign. And it officially starts here. I'm going to check that out. Lady Death stuff's been pretty decent. It's at least readable. So I'll probably check that out. I have it on my sheet anyway. Land of Living Gods. No thank you. The art looked like dog shit. Last book you'll ever read. Well, why would I buy that then if it's the last book I'm going to read? Lead City. Don't care. The art looks like crap. Learn to Speak Cat. Fake Muse. Nerd girl humor. Let's Go Karaoke. Let's not say we did. Lonesome. Graphic novel. Preacher's Trail. That's a Western. I don't know. It's kind of hard to screw up a Western, I guess. Lost Lad London. Not interested. Lucky Luke. Don't care. 2 of those. Magical Revolution. Reincarnated Princess and Lady. Very literal titles they have in Japan. Not interested. Manga Daily of a Male Porn Star. Definitely not interested. Masterful Cat Depressed Again Today. Well, that sounds sad. Something I can't pronounce. Chan graphic novel. Not interested. Misfits Clubhouse number 1. Monster Boo. No thank you. Mr. Boop Deluxe. That's obviously a Betty Boop thing. Marcelo something or other. Not interested. Murder Hobo Chaotic Neutral. I hate the art. And the story looked like it was just too stupid. Mutation, not interested. Mystery trade paperback, that's pretty good. I have the miniseries, it's pretty good. I got to finish those reviews. I got a whole bunch of stuff on my desktop. Speaking of which, there should be a Patreon video going up later today or late Friday. So sometime today I should have it up. Myths and Legends Quarterly Jasmine. This is Jasmine from the Aladdin story. She's on the flying carpet. That looked pretty good, but I don't know if I can afford it, so I'm probably not going to get that. Naughty List number 2, don't care. Nightmare Man one shot, don't care. North Bend season 2, don't care about. I didn't care about season 1. Past Last Mountain. The title's confusing, so no thanks. Lots of variant covers. That's usually not a good sign. Phantom of Idol. Not interested in your ghost singers. Phantom of the Paradise. Would have been interested. That was a hilarious movie. Play it cool, guys. No, you play it cool, bitch. I'll do what I want. Pre-code classics. Beyond Softy. Beyond is another one of those sci-fi horror comics from the golden age. And like I said, these soft covers are pretty cool. They're just expensive. Planet Comics had some really crazy stuff. Psychodrama Illustrated, that art is totally crap. Recount Preamble, don't care. Rise of Dracula, that art is really, really bad. It's very psychedelic looking, and it doesn't really work for what they're trying to do, and the story's kind of boring. Route 66, don't care. Prize Comics with Brie for Frankenstein, this had some really, really weird stuff. Prize Comics and Boy Comics had some really crazy characters. Like Frankenstein the Merry Monster. He's dropping a safe on two people. Yeah, they're pointing guns at these other guys, but I mean, they're going to die, which I don't really have a problem with because it's the Golden Age. The Golden Age, they did not care at all. They're like, yeah, people die all the time. This is the Depression. We do what we want. So I would definitely buy that, but it's $36 and I can't afford that. But the Prize and Boy Comics were really, really weird. Boy Comics had this character that was a villain called He-She. It is exactly what it sounds like. It was a person that half of them was a boy and half of them was a girl. It was very ahead of its time, but that was a bad guy, so you couldn't get away with that now. Rush number 6, don't care. Search for who? I don't know, third base. Seaside Stranger, don't care. 7 Deadly Sins for Knights of Apocalypse. Cool title. The art looks like a girl's book. So 7 Swords. I only read the first couple issues of this. I've got the others sitting here, and I did enjoy that. So I would buy that, but I already have the single issues. So maybe some other time. Shadow Service, don't care. It's not good. Silent Voice Complete Collection, don't care. Brain Boys, Silver Age Classics. I think those are some Dell books. Space Patrol, that one had some cool stuff. Cool, goofy Silver Age type crap. Space War, same thing. Really over the top. Really dated, but it was fun. Hardcover volume is $47. Smokin' Parade graphic novel. Write your own jokes. Spectro one-shot. I don't really care. This is another anthology book, and the art looks very varied. Star Runner Dark Star trade paperback. I've heard that's okay, but I'm not spending $20 and gambling that much money. I'm way too stingy for that. Star Wars High Republic Edge of Balance. No. Swamp God. Don't care. It's like a Swamp Thing knockoff from what I can tell. The Well. Don't care. Thorgal, no. Trent graphic novel, don't care. Trinity 7, that looks like porn. Ultra Max number 1, not for me. The art didn't look very good. The coloring's weird, and the story just didn't really appeal to me. It's probably okay, though. Source Point is very hit and miss, unfortunately. Something I can't pronounce in 2 words. One begins with a U. Looks like some kind of porno. Vampirella Red Sonja trade paperback from Dynamic Forces. No. Van Helsing Bloodborne one shot. I am going to buy that. The Van Helsing stuff's pretty good. Weakest contest in all space and time. Nah, I'm good. Your pal Fred. He's not my pal Fred. Zagor Shadow of the Vampire. I heard this is pretty decent, but I'm not picking it up. It's almost $30. So really the only things I'm going to get is Lady Death and Van Helsing, and maybe that quarterly book, the Myths and Legends Jasmine. I might get that, but it's expensive. But the nice thing is those are oversized, so you actually do get quite a bit of story for that. 72 pages, which for $9 is sadly a really good deal. So yeah, I would consider picking that one up. Like I said, I'm not real into their fantasy stuff, but these quarterly books, they're effectively just stapled graphic novels. And you do get a lot of story in them. And most of them have been pretty interesting, or at least had really cool ideas and premises. Even if they were kind of weak, they were way better entertainment than a lot of the Marvel stuff. So that's all of the new comics. Trinity 7 is more or less porn, very fan servicey. Ah, nice. Magic, harem, eki anime. Huh. Used to read that, but I hated some turns the story took and I just dropped it. I do that a lot. Bleach, the 1,000-year war. I don't know what that means. I saw the Bleach live action movie. That was pretty good. All right, so let's get to some stories. We'll get to our headline story here in a few minutes. Oh, yep, it's time to shill. It's time to shill, everybody. We're shilling now. If you're enjoying the show, please hit the like button, share it on your social media, subscribe if you haven't, ring that bell for notifications, and if you're feeling generous, toss me a couple of bucks at the Streamlabs link so I can buy some comics. And the link is at the top of the chat, and in the description. There's also other ways to support me, which are the Patreon and merchandise store, also listed in the description. And you can just watch the videos on my other channel. And I did have a video come out today. So if you want to watch those, that's greatly appreciated as well. And go subscribe to that channel if you haven't already too. Because I don't swear at all over there. All right. Now if I could find my home screen again. So Obi-Wan Kenobi's coming out soon. Bounding into Comics is reporting Obi-Wan's showrunner describes relationship between Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker as love story dynamic. Because of course it is. Why wouldn't it be? Why wouldn't it be? Obi-Wan Kenobi showrunner Deborah Chow recently discussed the upcoming Disney Plus series, revealing that she sees Kenobi's relationship with Anakin Skywalker as a love story dynamic. Chow's comments come in an expansive article from Vanity Fair discussing Star Wars, where the outlet claims Chow is the one to champion the rematch between Darth Vader and Obi-Wan Kenobi that Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy announced would take place in December 2020. This is a terrible idea. Those two should never meet in the story. Vader should be giving the Sith guidance on what to do around. Maybe be aware that Kenobi's out there, but they should never meet. Otherwise, it violates A New Hope and what they said about him not having felt that presence in a long time. Maybe even have him skeptical that it's the real Obi-Wan Kenobi. Vanity Fair claims Chow won Kennedy and Lucasfilm executives over due to her perspective on their relationship, which Chow describes as a love story dynamic, of course. She explains, for me, across the prequels through the original trilogy, there's a love story dynamic with these two that goes through the whole thing. That's weird. I felt like it was quite hard not to include the person who left Kenobi in such anguish in the series. Oh, they just broke up, you guys. They're just not over each other. Cho would also claim that even after Kenobi left Vader to die on Mustafar, he still cared for him. I don't know how you could not. Maybe because he murdered a bunch of children, you psycho? She detailed, I don't think he will ever not care about him. What's special about their relationship is that they loved each other. I don't love child killers. While Cho claims she sees this love story dynamic across the prequels and through the original trilogy, the dynamic, which is more accurately described as philia or the love of friendship, is really only seen in the prequels. I wouldn't even go that far. Like, he raises the kid. He didn't really seem to want to do that because, Qui-Gon wanted him to take care of the kid. I don't think he would have taken him as a Padawan otherwise. We see this love of friendship that Kenobi has for Anakin express itself after Kenobi chops Anakin's legs off and watches him begin to burn in the heat on Mustafar. He shouts at Anakin, "You were the chosen one. It was said you would destroy the Sith, not join them, bring balance to the Force, not leave it in darkness. You were my brother, Anakin. I loved you. Yeah, he loved him like a brother. You're making it sound all creepy. However, his last words make it clear that the love is no longer, as it's clearly used in the past tense. Exactly. Because he realizes what Anakin has become. And he murdered a bunch of children, you psychos. Anakin's love is completely gone as he replies, I hate you. It's been gone for quite a bit. As even before the duel began, Anakin told Kenobi, you turned against me. You will not take her from me. Don't lecture me, Obi-Wan. I see through the lies of the Jedi. I do not fear the dark side as you do. I have brought peace, freedom, justice, and security to my new empire. Blah, blah, blah. However, Kenobi's love toward Anakin is not shown when Darth Vader confronts him on the Death Star in A New Hope. The brief encounter sees Kenobi tell Vader, only a master of evil, Darth. You cannot win, Darth. If you strike me down, I will become more powerful than you can possibly imagine. He then allows Vader to strike him down only after he sees that Luke sees their fight. He likes getting watched. Then in Return of the Jedi, when Luke confronts Kenobi about his story regarding Vader killing his father, Kenobi replies, your father was seduced by the dark side of the Force. Spoiler alert for a 30-year-old movie. He ceased to be Anakin Skywalker and became Darth Vader. When that happened, the good man who was your father was destroyed. So what I told you was true from a certain point of view. When Luke questioned this, Kenobi replies, Luke, you're going to find that many of the truths we cling to depend greatly on our own point of view. Anakin was a good friend. When I first knew him, your father was already a great pilot, but I was amazed how strongly the Force was with him. I took it upon myself to train him as a Jedi. I thought I could instruct him just as well as Yoda. I was wrong. It seems pretty clear that from this conversation that Kenobi's philia towards Anakin might remain, but he sees Anakin as being killed off by Darth Vader. No, that sounds more like regret that your friend is dead and he became some evil monster who murders children. Kenobi clearly has no love for Vader, describing him as twisted and evil, much like he did in A New Hope when he called him a master of evil. So it's perplexing to say the least that Kenobi and Vader have some kind of love story dynamic that runs through the original trilogy when clearly it is not the case. Yeah, I think this lady hasn't seen the movies and she's trying to insert some pseudo-gay agenda. It's really lazy. Those kids had it coming, changed my mind. Well, they were a part of a religious sect, so I guess maybe that was an act of love too. I don't know. They were going to spill secrets. So, yep, love story, guys. They were just in love. Meanwhile, over at Newsarama, fanfic, yeah, all this crap is. Man, I wish I could have seen Empire Strikes Back without already knowing he's Luke's father. Oh, sorry, dude. Yeah, seeing that for the first time, even as a kid, because I was in first or second grade, first grade, I think, when that came out. I was like, whoa, that's his dad? Weird. Newsarama from this game's radar, technically. Ultraman's not yet done fighting giant kaiju for Marvel yet. That's Ultra 7, actually. The Ultra saga isn't quite done as Ultraman returns to Marvel Comics in August with a brand new series, The Mystery of Ultra 7, written by Kyle Higgins and Matt Groom, with art by David Tinto, David Lopez, and, Girahiru. The series will continue exploring the pop culture phenomenon Ultraman, starting with a double-sized debut issue. In Ultraman, The Mystery of Ultra 7, giant kaiju roam free and powers being consolidated through a sinister conspiracy. Whereas Ultraman, and why hasn't he stopped this from happening? No one knows. Maybe Shin's busy, dude. Have you considered that? He's got a life. Then an enigmatic new Ultra appears after being hidden away for decades. Yeah, they changed it so in 1968, Dan Moribushi is kidnapped by aliens or killed, it looks like. So he's actually been undercover this whole time. So that they kind of changed his origin significantly. But the first miniseries was pretty decent. I liked it. It wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. This is some of the better Marvel stuff from that year. And I haven't read the second series, Trials of Ultraman. I've got them sitting here like everything else. Can't show it. Have anyone showing caring feelings without someone without wanting to bang nowadays. Yep. It's all fanfic, dude. So, yeah, I'm interested to see this. I will pick it up, but I'm hoping it's good. The last couple have been pretty good. When's this coming out? Third collaboration. Doesn't say. Oh, they're going to have a backup story that features the history of Ultra Q, which was the precursor to the Ultraman books. So, yeah, I'm going to look forward to this. I don't have high hopes for anything from Marvel anymore. But, that's just the way things go, sadly. All right, what's next? Give me 1 second here. All right, the new Secret Invasion TV show on Disney Plus. We have a little bit more information about that. I don't know. It doesn't sound very good. It's from Bleeding Cool. Secret Invasion taking place during the blip raises obvious questions. Like, why? Why would you do that? I don't know why they're doing this at all. This is stupid. They should have done this set in the modern day so they could have a bunch of other superheroes in it. Maybe make it an Avengers story. After things have been running pretty stealth on the production front, we have this week's upfronts to thank for not one but 2 updates on Disney Plus and Marvel Studios, upcoming Samuel Jackson and Ben Mendelsohn starring Secret Invasion, stemming from the ending to Captain Marvel. The series focuses on Fury's investigation into a faction of Skrulls who've been living on Earth for years and who could be some familiar MCU faces that viewers have grown to know and love. Previously, Jackson offered some insight into being able to explore Fury's various layers and how he learned new things about the character he thought he knew. More on that in a minute. First of all, he's not really Nick Fury. He's ultimate Marvel Nick Fury, and he sucks. Real Nick Fury will always have an eye patch and graying sideburns, and best played by David Hasselhoff in the TV movie Nick Fury. During Disney's upfronts on Tuesday, Marvel Studios head Kevin Feige brought out Jackson to help him promote the 6-episode series. And that's when things got interesting because while folks knew Secret Invasion would take place within the MCU timeline, Feige offered a bit more clarity on that, caused a bit of confusion. While still engaging in the Marvel Studios policy of offering as few details as possible, did say that the series would take place during the blip when half the universe was decimated by Thanos, and will explore the events that happened in that period. So if that's the case, and it takes place between Avengers Infinity War, especially those post-credit scenes, and Avengers Endgame, then we have a huge mystery in front of us because as far as anyone saw during the previously mentioned post-credit scene, Fury and Kobe Smulders' Mariah Hill, who was also set to appear in the series, found themselves on the wrong side of Thanos' finger snap. Well, that was probably Skrulls. Now remember, the Skrulls have shown up in post-credit scenes already. So if you haven't been watching the TV shows or Spider-Man, you're not going to know that. So spoiler alert. So when Nick Fury wasn't even around. Yep. That's a hate fact, though. David Hasselhoff, classically handsome and masculine. Yep, that's why they don't have him anymore. There are things that even I really didn't know about Nick Fury that I just found out. Sam Jackson explained during the Awardist podcast episode. The minds behind what's happening during the blip are fantastic. That's part of what we're uncovering when we do this series now. And those discoveries afforded the actor more opportunities to explore the layers of Fury's personality. It's giving me an opportunity to explore something other than the badassery of who Nick Fury is. I've had a good time doing that. I'm looking forward to people sharing that aspect of who he is when this series does happen. There was a podcast link here, but this is an archive. Joining Jackson, Mendelsohn, and Smulders are Amelia Clark, yummy, Kingsley Ben-Adair, Olivia Colman. Olivia Colman was the Impossible Girl on the Matt Smith Doctor Who episodes. Killian Scott, I don't know who that is, and Christopher McDonald. During previous interviews, Jackson also confirmed that Martin Freeman was returning as Everett K. Ross, and that Don Cheadle's James Rhodes, aka War Machine, will be taking a bit of a break from work on his own series. So Don Cheadle's going to show up. Armor Wars to spend some time helping Jackson's Nick Fury stop that secret invasion. So we get a little bit more cast info, but really not telling us much. But during the blip, if Nick Fury and Mariah Hill were both snapped, were those actually Skrulls that were snapped away? Stop retconning. It takes away from moments that involved the character if they really were just a Skrull. Yeah, absolutely. Christopher McDonald. Yeah, Shooter McGavin. That guy is a very underrated actor, and he always gets pigeonholed playing douchebags, which he's really good at, but very underrated guy. So, yeah, I don't know what the hell they're doing, because the whole thing with the end of Infinity War had Nick Fury calling Captain Marvel on the pager. So, was that a Skrull doing that? I don't understand. That makes zero sense to me. But again, Feige wants to insert a bunch of weird woke crap, so probably just some nonsense reason is going to be presented, or it's just going to be ignored. And they're not going to do anything fun, because it sounds like there aren't going to be any other major superheroes in here. We're just going to get like a War Machine appearance. Whoop-de-fucking-do. All right, we got a little bit of interesting drama here from the video game community of all places. Dangerous, were you quoting Medicare to Ethan Ralph? They never should have brought in Skrulls. Just one more thing Captain Marvel screwed up. They could have done it right, but they've made Talos this like sympathetic immigration pastiche when he's the Super Skrull, an arch villain of the Fantastic Four. And he looked all old and pussified, so I don't know what they're doing. They're really just dropping the ball. These stories have been classics of young people for ages, and they need to really reconnect with that. Because right now they're trying to do some weird woke crap, and it comes off being kind of trite and lazy. Like Captain Marvel and Miss Marvel is going to be. It's just a bunch of woke, boring crap. But yeah, you're right. They probably shouldn't have brought in the Skrulls. They could have done that through like Phase 5 and made it more interesting. Little hints throughout the movies. Like in the background, somebody accidentally shifts into a Skrull for a second and they run off screen. And they're literally only on screen for a second or two. So that the average person is just going to ignore it and not see that monkey because they're focusing on the basketball game. How's that one for a reference? But that would have been much more interesting. Instead, they got lazy with it and they had to beat you over the head with it. It didn't say who McDonald was playing Frosted. He's probably a Skrull. Yeah, the new Skrulls look stupid. I know it was a Happy Gilmore quote. I wanted to make an Ethan Ralph joke because poop, eating butt. Oh. What's the bet they will use Secret Invasion to explore trans issues pretending to be something you really aren't? Oh, I'd say 80%. Remember, they are going to introduce some more Victoria Alonso. Was that her name? One of the people that said they wanted more trans characters got promoted over at Marvel, so we'll probably see more of that. Well, let's check out this one. If you're a video game player of retro games, you're going to be interested in this. Wada Games sued for price manipulation on graded retro games. Customers of Wada Games have filed a class action lawsuit against the retailer over illegal business practices around selling its retro games. A buddy of mine used to collect retro games, and he pretty much got all of them he wanted, but I saw this and thought of him, and I figured some people in the audience might be interested in that. Wada Games faces a class action lawsuit from multiple customers claiming damages from illegal business practices by the company in its sales of retro games. Per Kotaku, always a reliable source, the class action suit filed in the Central District Court of California is on behalf of Jacob Knight, Jack Cribbs, Jason Dosey, and other potentially similarly situated individuals. So it's mostly those three right now. According to the suit, Wata Games and its owner, Collectors Universe, allegedly misled its customers about its products, pumped up the retro game collecting bubble, and conducted a pattern of racketeering activity. If that's true, they're in serious trouble. These acts supposedly started the rush to purchase classic games and inflated the prices. Oh man, they better hope the feds don't get involved in this, because this is the type of shit the feds thirst after. Essentially, customers would send in their games for evaluation by WATA to determine how they rate as a collectible, judging rarity and quality. WATA charged collectors to expedite the process along with a 2% commission on games valued over $2,500. So they had a financial incentive to grade these higher. Now many collectors claim WATA ripped them off by inflating the market with its estimates, making their commissions greater and charging premiums for services, but failing to return games to the owners in a timely manner for its expedited processing. Ooh, that's bad. Although wait time for collectible grading houses has increased exponentially during the coup, the reported delays for WATA appear to be unusually long. While the longest estimated wait time is 150 days, one customer reported their copy of Fire Emblem Path of Radiance, the ninth in the Fire Emblem series for the GameCube, took 18 months to receive. WATA Games has yet to comment on the allegations. YouTuber Carl Jobst made a mini documentary on the subject, accusing WATA Games, Heritage Auction House, and other collectors of conspiring to drive up the value of rare retro games using such methods as secret bidders, subjective grading, and record-breaking sales prices. One example is the sale of Super Mario Brothers game in 2019. In 2017, the retro game's top price sat at $30,000 for a high-quality sealed copy. In 2019, WATA Games graded a copy of the Super Mario Brothers that sold through auction for $100,150. The three buyers included the founder of Heritage Auction House, Jim Halpern. Later that year, WATA founder and chief grader Dennis Kahn appeared on Pawn Stars and claimed the exact copy of the game was now worth as much as $300,000. In 2021, WATA graded a version of the game it claimed was an ultra-rare boxed and sealed copy, and it sold for $2 million. A sealed cartridge version of Super Mario Brothers for the Nintendo Entertainment System sold in April 2021 for $660,000. Following Jobs' documentary, Kahn, Halpern, and others referenced in the documentary denied wrongdoing. A few months after the fact, WATA released population reports of various games and oft-reported demand by gaming collectors. Population reports estimate the number of sealed games of specific quantities still exist based on research and previous sales. Those reports help collectors in their vocation, providing tremendous transparency into the factors that determine grading. Since the release of the reports, there have been no record-breaking retro games auctions. So if these guys were price fixing, they're in big fucking trouble, because that's a huge no-no. I didn't get a notification. Oh, sorry, dude. It's good to hear, though, Eagle. Jacob Knight is a badass name. It really is. Does this mean anyone that used them or bought anything they've graded can now sue them? They could likely join on to the class action, yes. Sounds like a lot of people are out of a lot of money. It's quite possible these people are bullshit, but this wouldn't be the first time that a company like this has done some shady stuff. So it's quite possible they were manipulating the price for their own gain. I don't know. We'll have to wait for the depositions to come out. Hopefully some of this will be live on the internet, or somebody will cover it, because that actually I find pretty interesting. Especially because, like I said, I knew people that used to collect old games like that. All right, so you guys like Colin Kaepernick, right? He's like a sports icon or whatever. I've heard he has a lot of interesting opinions, right? Right? He's like cool or something. Well, ICV2 is reporting Scholastic's graphics to co-publish Colin Kaepernick's memoir of choosing football over baseball in graphic novel. Know what he's not doing here? Kneeling. Scholastic and Kaepernick Publishing, why is that a thing? Will co-publish the YA graphic novel Change the Game, Colin Kaepernick's memoir about the period in his life where he chose football as a sport over baseball, the New York Times reports. The graphic novel will be co-written by Kaepernick. Oh, that means it's really, really not going to be biased at all. And Ironheart writer Eve L. Ewing, not biased at all. And the artist will be Orlando Cicito. I don't know. The paperback will be released on the graphics imprint on March 7th, 2023, with a sales price of $14.99. And will be in Ollie's 2 months later, I bet, for $1.99. Change the Game focuses on a key moment in Kaepernick's life when he was a high school baseball player who was already being scouted by colleges and big leagues. Despite the pressure from his parents and coaches, Kaepernick turned away from baseball, partly because he just wasn't that interested in the game, but also because he felt the atmosphere would be more racist and less supportive. Football, on the other hand, would provide me with real opportunities to fully embrace my culture, identity, and community. Kaepernick ultimately became a quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers, as well as a civil rights activist in his own mind. Kaepernick and Scholastic Publishing are also co-publishing Dreamer, the graphic memoir of former Calgary Flame hockey player Akeem Alayu, which was pitched at middle grade readers. So yeah, this is going to be a young adult book full of probably half-truths and lies. Was he actually a good baseball player? I have no idea. I'd never heard that before, but I don't know anything about Kaepernick, and I don't really care. I think the guy's a piece of shit. So there you go. You save up now so you can buy that next March. $14.99 might be a good deal in a year. All right. All right, let's get to our title. Stupid thing. Fucking work. Our title story about Ezra. This is from CBR. So Ezra's in some trouble again. I know, we're all shocked. The Flash star Ezra Miller reportedly stole music from collaborators. I mean, are you shocked? So this is just the same as Michael Jordan trying to become a golfer in Space Jam. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Amid multiple arrests in Hawaii, the Flash star Ezra Miller faces more legal trouble as the actor is accused of stealing music from 2 collaborators. Music producer Oliver Ignatius and rapper Gaius Govera disclosed to Rolling Stone that Miller published a piece they collaborated on without credit or approval. After the musicians agreed to work on a musical project with Miller, the process largely fell apart when the actor reached out with an aggressive temper tantrum over one of Ignatius' songs. After Ignatius departed, he alleges that Miller leaked the unfinished track online, posting the music on SoundCloud and sharing the link on their Instagram. Remember, he's non-binary, or Miller's non-binary, so he uses they, their, them, whatever. What Ezra did was commit an extremely unethical and hurtful act, Ignatius said. They stole from artists that have fewer resources than them, but maybe have art that Ezra wants. The person I thought I knew was a much gentler soul than the person that we are seeing right now. It's been a very concerning journey. I mean, irritating. Concerning. No, you're mad. The producer then reasoned on working with the actor as a musical and spiritual life raft for a friend. We all had high hopes that it was going to be a project that was beautiful, that was going to be meaningful to us, but it didn't really pan out that way, he added, referring to Miller's recent arrest for allegedly threatening to kill a couple in Hawaii. They seemed to be heading out into deep waters, Ignatius explained. They were going through a scorched earth type fallout with their Hollywood career. They were severing many of the relationships in their life and seemed to be on a very dangerous spiral. These are past tense, and I don't think this was past tense. I think this is still going. While Guevara was paid for his participation in creating the tracks, both he and Ignatius intended on taking Miller to court. The producer insists that he owns the rights to the song's masters, suggesting that he may file for further damages against the Flash star. Ignatius concluded by stating he had spoken with Miller following the incident, but said the meeting was personal and nothing good nor conciliatory. Miller made headlines in early 2022 after the DCEU actor was arrested in Hawaii following a complaint of disorderly conduct. A day after they were detained, a restraining order was filed against Miller by a couple who insisted that the actor threatened to kill them. He also stole the dude's wallet and passport. Less than a month later, Miller was arrested again on the grounds of second-degree assault. Despite the controversy, Warner Brothers currently has no plans to replace them as Barry Allen. June 23, 2023 is going to be the movie release, unless things go really sideways. Ezra seems like the Hunter in the Justice League cast. I don't know what's wrong with that dude, man. But he's got some serious issues to work through, I think. So just the latest scandal for Ezra Miller is that now he's a music thief. So I don't know. I hope they get they, them, whatever, gets their shit sorted and maybe gets the help they need. But I don't have high hopes for that because Hollywood people don't tend to actually get the help they need till the very last minute if they get it at all. But in less irritating news, DC Wonder Twins shut down by Warner Brothers. It's from the Hollywood Reporter. The Wonder Twins has been deactivated. The DC-based future project, which was to have begun production in early July, has been shelved, according to multiple sources. The project was being developed as a feature for HBO Max and had Riverdale star KJ Apa and 1883 actress Isabel May on board to star. Adam, something I can't pronounce, who worked on the script for Dwayne Johnson's upcoming Black Adam, wrote the Wonder Twins script and was due to direct. Sources say the decision to shut down the project occurred several weeks ago. According to the insiders, leadership at Warner Brothers Discovery, the new company combining Discovery and Warner Brothers, and now being led by CEO David Zaslav, is imposing a mandate that DC movies should now be made with a theatrical first goal. Yeah, way more money involved. Wonder Twins, the way it had been conceived, was too niche, said one source. At niche, you mean nobody wanted this movie? Who was excited about a Wonder Twins film? Outside of like the porn arena. You're not wrong, Evolved. I think Ezra and Hurt are trying to one-up each other. It wouldn't surprise me. Would not surprise me at all. Hollywood people are weird. But yeah, the Wonder Twins are no longer going to be happening. So there you go. All right, and the most frustratingly irritating news this week, and this one really, really made me mad. They're not going to let Stan Lee rest. Cosmic Book News is bringing this article. Marvel bringing back Stan Lee in a 20-year deal. Let the poor man rest in peace, for fuck's sake. Marvel and Disney are bringing back Stan Lee in a 20-year licensing deal with Power Entertainment and Genius Brands. Stan Lee, the co-creator of Marvel and characters such as... He didn't create Marvel. Marvel existed well before Stan Lee. He worked there when it was timely. I'll give you that. Anyway, characters like whatever we all know. He passed away in 2018, but will be brought back for potential use in future Marvel films and TV shows, as well as Disney theme parks and experiences. While the new deal does give Disney and Marvel Stan Lee's name, voice, likeness, and signature in movies and television projects, as well as to use images, existing footage, and existing audio recordings featuring him. The Hollywood Reporter notes that according to the insiders, the new deal does not necessarily pave the way for the return of Stan Lee cameos in movies, at least not in the way fans traditionally knew them. That it's unclear if the public even has an appetite to see Lee digitally resurrected. We don't. If Disney does that, it's going to make fans mad. The diehards, the whales that spend a lot of money. And for God's sakes, this was one sentence. This whole paragraph. Really? So we could guess it could be possible that Stan Lee will not be brought back digitally for cameos in various Marvel projects, but that those projects could still feature his likeness, like an Easter egg poster or picture or something like that, that maybe Disney theme parks would feature the digital and or archival likeness as Lee could be involved with rides and exhibits. Yeah, they might have a statue of him or some shit. A Stan Lee Marvel Legends action figure was released at the New York Comic Con back in 2019, so it's likely there will be more of the same sort of merchandising and such, mugs, t-shirts, etc. Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. I've interviewed and met Stan Lee a couple times, and the guy is quite the showman, so continuing on in some form seems right up his alley. However, when I was photographed with him at New York Comic Con in 2016, he seemed less than enthusiastic as when I asked him how he's doing. He replied he doesn't know what he's doing, lol, which isn't a surprise. He had to sit in a chair for hours as photo after photo was taken of him with fans. Yeah, and he was also starting to get like dementia. I saw him on the floor later on mingling at a booth where he looked really happy. Pictured above. Stan Lee's last MCU cameo was the Avengers Endgame, where he filmed the scene and appeared posthumously digital de-aged as a cab driver in 1970 alongside a digital recreation of his wife, Joan Babcock Lee. Recently in Spider-Man No Way Home, Lee's birthday, December 28, 1922, is used as a plate number 1228 of a taxi cab in the movie's bridge fight scene. Genius Brands is a global kids media company that was created as a joint venture with POW, a media company that was co-founded by Stan Lee during the along with Gil Champion and Arthur Lieberman in July 2020. Yeah, it was co-founded by Lee, but other people were brought in later because he was dead by then. It really ensures that Stan, through digital technology and archival footage and other forms, will live on in the most important venue, the Marvel movies and Disney theme parks. Andy Haywood, chairman and CEO of Genius Brands, said it's a broad deal. Yeah, you guys like money. This is a terrible, terrible idea. So let the old man rest. You want to put out some merchandise or something, fine. But you know they're going to get carried away and CGI his face on somebody else in the movies. It's going to be freaking annoying. Hey, Ori. We'll be fine with it if they use him to replace Brie Larson. Okay, that would convince me. Stan Lee's face should be used as the one above all in comics. That's it. Yeah, if they want to do like the old intros from the old Spider-Man cartoons or something, that'd be one thing. Like have him say, "Welcome, true believers," or whatever as part of the opening credits. I'd be fine with that. But you know they're going to get carried away with this right out the gate because they got to get their money's worth. And Disney has a real bad habit of being tone deaf. Will they dig his corpse up and weekend at Bernie's him? Because I won't put it past them. I wouldn't either. Yeah, I could totally see them doing that. It would not surprise me in the slightest. All right, only got a couple more things here. But in the meantime, it's that time again. If you're enjoying the show, hit the like button, share it on your social media, and subscribe if you haven't already. If you're feeling generous, toss me a couple bucks in the Streamlabs. Don't turn them into Leah and Rise of Skywalker. Oh, I think they will do exactly that. Because that's what they've been doing with all the dead actors. They've been just CGIing them. Or the actors that are old now, they de-age them. I could absolutely see them doing that. Let me grab a new water here. And we'll get to the last two stories. All right. Speaking of Spider-Man, though, this looked really cool. This is from comicbook.com. The Amazing Spider-Man 112 Collective Deluxe figures now on sale. Check out that Looks awesome. The Amazing Spider-Man is the latest addition to Mezco's Toys high-end 112 collective action figure lineup. And amazing is a pretty good adjective for it. He's got the classic comic book look, along with tons of features and accessories, like 5 head portraits, one of which has light-up eyes. A full breakdown of the features for the Amazing Spider-Man Deluxe Edition 112 collective action figure can be found below. When you're ready, pre-orders are available at Entertainment Earth for $120. Free U.S. shipping on orders $39 and over using Spring Free 22 at checkout. It's expected to arrive in February, and you won't be charged until it ships. It looks very much like the TV one from the 70s with the way the mask is done here. But look at all these different hands and stuff you get. You get a little base and a little figure holder. All right, so you get 1 collective body with 32 points of articulation, 5 head portraits, hand-painted authentic detailing, approximately 16 centimeters tall, 18 interchangeable hands, including 1 hand pointing, 1 thumbs-up hand, 1 pair of fists left and right, 1 pair of camera-holding hands, 1 pair of web-shooting hands, 1 pair of web-holding hands, 1 pair of grabbing hands, 3 pairs of posing hands. Also, the costume fitted suit with spider insignia and cobweb detailing, and boots. Accessories include 1 Spider Sense FX, the little wave lines, 1 Spider-Man mask can be held, 1 camera with interchangeable straps, 6 spider tracers, 1 spider tracer receiver, 1 web shield, 1 web mask, 1 web backpack, 1 web parachute, 1 web loop, 1 web slingshot, 1 web line with integrated posing wire, 1 web base with cobweb detailing, 1 112 collective display base with logo, 112 collectible adjustable display post. Now, I think Bleeding Cool had a better set of images. Give me 1 second to see if I can find that. But this looks freaking awesome. Of course, it's like $120. So here's the webs. I really like the web parachute. And of course, the logo thing here. There's the mask you can have him hold when he's in Peter Parker face. The Spider Sense lines, the camera, everything you need for Spider-Man. Spider Tracers, receiver. Sorry, I don't think these get much bigger. That's as big as it gets. But it's a very 70s style look to it. I like it. So yeah, pretty freaking cool. And I guess they're doing a Green Goblin one too later on. But I mean, it's really expensive. It's going to be in February. But it does look pretty cool. It does have that like old school look to it. I had a large Spider-Man. It was about 12 inches when I was a kid, and unfortunately, I don't know what happened to it. But that thing was great. I didn't have any other characters to play with, but the wrist would unscrew right at the wrist here, and you could fill up his forearm with what they called spider webbing, and it was like this tacky goo, looked a lot like spooge, and you could create webs with it. It was really cool. I loved that toy. Wish I knew what happened to it though. So yeah, that's a new toy coming out. You can do pre-orders at Entertainment Earth if you're interested in this. I think it looks pretty cool. I've seen a lot of stuff coming from Entertainment Earth, and they do some really cool stuff. Pull the string and he cries over Gwen Stacy's body. Wow. Yeah, generally they do evolved. So because they own their likeness, that's how they make money. So they generally do own their likeness, even de-aged. They have to. It's generally a better idea to get a contract so you don't get sued. Yeah, for what you're paying, it's not a bad deal. I just think it's way out of my league. If you want to do some stop motion Spider-Man, oh, that'd be freaking awesome. Yeah, it's really high quality. Mezco does some really nice stuff. If you've never seen their toys, they're really nice. And if you wanted to do some stop motion or some cool photography stuff, you could absolutely do it with this. So, especially with that many different limbs, the extra hands and stuff, I think that looks really sweet. So yeah, that I thought I would try and end on a slightly more positive note than usual, but we're not going to because we got one more story to go. Stupid thing, come on, catch up. Remember having a Spider-Man silly string shooter glove thing? Oh, I had one of those when the first Sam Raimi movie came out. I didn't have the one with the glove. I just had the regular wrist attachment. And I was in college, and we messed with that thing that was a blast. Yeah, dude, it might be worth saving up for, Eagle. I think it looks really, really cool. But Entertainment Earth has some really cool stuff. It's just always way out of my price range. They had a really cool Snake Eyes one not long ago. That was about the same scale, 112. And it was like $300 or something ridiculous like that. But it was really cool. It had a lot of accessories. I think it had timber too. I think we showed that on the stream. That Super 7 did some Silverhawk stuff recently too that looked pretty cool. I think they're still doing Thundercats as well. All right, over at Screen Rant, it's official. Nothing matters in Marvel's X-Men comics. Oh, who's been talking about that for over a year now? Almost 2 years. Oh, that's me. This story is from the 19th. The people are just catching on. Spoilers for X-Men Red. I don't give a shit, though. All the X-Men books suck. The invention of the resurrection protocols in recent X-Men comics mean that Marvel's mutants are essentially immortal, which is not necessarily good for storylines. No, it's garbage. You have to adapt accordingly and actually have some kind of risk in there, and there is no risk for the mutants anymore. They've made them all Mary Sues. You can have an immortal character and still have high stakes, but they don't do that. The quick and meaningless death of a once hugely popular character, Cable in X-Men Red 2, proves that nothing really matters anymore in the X-Men comics. Ask any old school Marvel fan which character represents the 90s most, the majority would answer Cable. I don't know about that. Nathaniel Summers has become synonymous with that bombastic era with his iconic look and badass attitude. And let's not forget all his pouches. The character was created by Louise Simonson and Rob Liefeld for New Mutants, then carried over to X-Force. Cable's the son of Scott Summers and Madeline Pryor, a clone of Jean Grey, who grew up in a dystopian future ruled by apocalypse, becoming a ruthless soldier. His no-nonsense attitude and liberal use of lethal force made Cable incredibly popular in the 90s, an era in which the X-Men books were constant top sellers. While his popularity declined after that decade, Cable is still an important character in the X-Men cast, instantly recognized by fans old and new, and yet he was killed almost offhandedly in X-Men Red. Cable's among the mutants who moved to Mars after the Red Planet was terraformed into a new colony for the inhabitants of Krakoa's sister, Arakko. The chief security for SWORD, a counterterrorism and intelligence agency that deals with extraterrestrial threats, Cable's chosen by director Abigail Brand as leader of her X-Men Red team. The group is supposed to protect Araki from extraterrestrial threats, but Brand is in fact a traitor, and their first mission is an engineered disaster. In X-Men Red #2 by Al Ewing, Stefano Calisi, and Federico Blee, the team is deployed to fight the powerful progenitors, and Cable is quickly killed during the battle, completely incinerated by one of the aliens. Of course, no one stops to mourn him because he will soon be resurrected by the Five in Krakoa. Look at that shit art, too. Oh, that's terrible. He's wearing 2 3D glasses. Zap, boom, Cable. Oh, no. The end. That's Cable's death. Resurrection protocols are the linchpin around which the age of Krakoa revolves. Mutants are now technically immortal because their minds are constantly uploaded as backups in Cerebro, and their bodies can easily be rebuilt by the Five. Fans worried that with death no longer an issue, X-Men stories would soon lose any sense of stakes, and they were not wrong. Yeah, that's been going on since we learned of the resurrection nonsense. Death is already a malleable concept in superhero comics, and it's very hard to take seriously any threats to the survival of beloved characters. But the resurrection protocols have pushed this issue to a whole new level. Before them, if a hugely popular character such as Cable were to die, even temporarily, Marvel would make a big deal of it, giving the event the proper relevance and framing. Now, Cable could get vaporized as a casualty in a random battle, and nobody will even remember it happening. Yeah, especially because their sales have been slipping quite a bit since Heckman left the book, and people are starting to realize the storyline's kind of dumb. While death has rarely been permanent in comics, it's still used to add gravity to certain events or moments. Well, with the resurrection protocols in place, death in X-Men comics is not even a plot device anymore. It's just something that happens. The completely pointless death of Cable in X-Men Red 2 proves that popular characters have it worst in this situation because they lose their mystique by being killed so easily. And they've done this a couple times. The X-Men stories have really, really gone downhill, but this was just lazy. And that art is atrocious. Look at that. That really. So, yep. Yes. Finally, even Screen Rant is agreeing with me that they are turning X-Men into boring pseudo fan fiction. Not a comic reader anymore, but this really pisses me off, the destruction of Marvel and DC. Yeah, and it's by people that are lazy writers with no imagination and only want to ham-fistedly insert their politics. It's very, very lazy identity politics stuff that comes off like a religious pamphlet because they're just secular chick tracks. Thought they changed it. It takes 5 minutes to pull off the resurrection. I think one of them died. Now they come back different or something. I don't remember. They did something with that. Somebody was telling me, but I lost all interest because the entire Krakoa thing was just Mary suing all of the X-Men. Like Death for Kennedy and South Parks. You're not wrong, Frosted, but it didn't used to be like that. Usually if somebody died in the comics, they stayed dead for a while. They don't even do that anymore. But it's nice to see other people are getting sick of this because they're dragging this storyline out way past its due date. It's turning into another Clone Saga where they are running out of ideas. They think they have these great ideas, but they're very, very mediocre and boring. So they're just resurrecting the characters all the time, and that means nothing. And I guess they're going to do a big crossover where they retcon the origins of the X-Men, so they're no longer mutants. They are, in fact, deviants, which are the bad guys that the Inhumans fight. So there's going to be a big Inhumans X-Men war. It's called Judgment Day, and the Avengers are, for some reason, in the middle of it. Oh, of course they are, Eagle. Anything hyper-masculine, according to them, by a bunch of low-T losers, they have to get rid of. That's why you're seeing more people have like effeminate yoga bodies instead of being muscular and pinnacle of male achievement. They have to get rid of that. They have to turn more male characters gay, which is what they're doing. And they have to minimize the men, replace them with women whenever possible. A Girl Thor's coming back too, apparently. They've already pushed through Belgium and are nearly in Paris. Yeah, pretty much. So this big crossover thing is supposed to put some of this storyline down, but I doubt it. I doubt they'll do that. I think they're going to push this till it falls off the cliff completely, and they've destroyed the characters beyond recognition. They've already made it so I have no interest in the characters. But, you know, what are you going to do? They still have a few good titles at both big companies, but most of the stuff just is not interesting to me anymore. It's really sad. There's a lot of good indie stuff out there, though. Frank Frazetta's Death Dealer was good. What else? Carriers was good. The Star Trek Mirror War has been pretty fun. The art's not that great, though. Xenoscope's got a lot of good stuff. Pretty much anything by American mythology has been fun. But unfortunately, they're suffering the hardest, the indies, from the supply chain shortage because the bigger orders are getting priority. So Marvel and DC will get their books published first. Streamlabs broken. I can't give money. Oh, I want you to give money. It might be. I don't know. I hope not. I like money. I'm poor. I got to save up for my comics next week. But thank you for trying, Tyrai. Very Irish of you. So, yeah, that's what's going on. The X-Men are just insanely broken. It's not looking like it's going to get any better anytime soon. And the woke crap's filtered into other stuff, too. I'm hoping more indie stuff will get published and the supply chain stuff will sort out. But with prices going up and all the inflation, I'm worried it's going to kill off a lot of the smaller companies. So hope for the best, I guess. All right, I'm going to wrap it up there. It's this thing with Batman going gay. There's been rumors about him being bisexual, but the rumors are very unclear if it's Bruce Wayne or if it's the new Black Batman, Jace. And that would not surprise me more than anything else. Because they're killing off the main Trinity, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, so the replacements can come in. They killed them all off in Justice League 75. And they're going to assemble a new team made up of all the replacement characters they've been making over the last several years. Totally not 5G, guys. Future state, same thing. So I don't think it's going to go over as well as I think it's going to. And DCs are already on the chopping block because of the Warner Discovery merger. The Social Justice League, pretty much. So I'm not sure, Tyrai, but I think it's going to be the new Black Batman because it gives them double victory points. But I got to look into it further. I don't think there's been any new news on it. It's mostly rumor stuff, though. I think YouTubers are mainly talking about it more than anyone. They act like they have a captive audience. They think nobody will leave. They think the decline in sales is because kids play video games now, not because the stuff's boring. They don't realize how bad they are at this anymore. They have some decent writers, but even then they're still bound by these weird inclusion mandates and stuff. Not responding to that, Frosted. But yeah, it's really sad. It's actually pretty pathetic. They have a narrative, and they don't care how much they suffer from it. John Ridley, who's doing the Black Batman, I Am Batman, is a terrible, terrible activist writer. It's very obvious what he's doing. He could be a really good writer if he could get past his politics. Woman and Batgirl, dude. No, that'd be too easy. Batgirl is so far, I don't think, changing. There was a rumor they're going to replace her with a trans person, but I don't think I think that was made up. He gets shot, just went out for cigarettes. Yeah. No, his dad is Lucius Fox, and I don't think he knows he's Batman. I don't read that book. It's garbage. It's propaganda. It's like reading Ta-Nehisi Coates, and I have no interest in that. He wrote a book called The Other History of the DC Universe. And it was all about how Black Lightning was oppressed. I'm like, whatever. You wish. Black Lightning was a cool character in the 70s, and you're trying to make him out to be like, oh, everybody was mean to him and racist. No, that's a load of crap. They did some racial stories with Jon Stewart, but they were all handled at an appropriate level for the demographic. But again, these guys don't realize they're writing children's literature. So there's no appeal to like their target demographic, which should be middle schoolers or high schoolers. And they don't appeal to those demographics at all. They think this weird gender nonsense is going to bring them in, and it doesn't. Pressed by low sales numbers. There's that too. But they don't care about that. It's about the messaging more than anything else. And I find that very, very sad and pretty pathetic. All right, but I'm going to wrap it up there. was trying for 2 hours, didn't quite make it. But thank you all for coming out. Really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed the stream. If you did, hit the like button. Don't forget, you can always donate after the stream. And on my other channel, you can do super thanks, which are like Streamlabs, but nobody will see them except me. DC needs to diversify, but they could get a ton of Christian money to write a Spectre comic if they played it right. Yeah, they probably could. Marvel did a Pope John Paul II comic back in the 80s. They've done like Christian books before. It's not like it'd be anything new, but then they could sell them to the church. Doesn't matter what you say if nobody's listening. Yeah, exactly. Screaming in the void, but it's about the virtue signal more than anything. But you guys have a great night, and hopefully we'll see you on the next one. Thanks again for coming out, and thank you so much for the donations. But we'll see you on the next one, guys. Bye.